Hi, Kamin here. And I had a client recently communicate with me that she had a couple of clients cancel on her and how she was holding with that. And I had some thoughts to share with her, and I thought that they might be of interest to you as well. And the first thing is to not use the word that clients have canceled. Cancel so final, look at it as just not right now. And my husband is one of my greatest success stories. His business was facing bankruptcy years ago, and the first year it grew 20%, and then the year after that it was 36%, and then over the last year it was 65%. And there was a lot that went into that, and a lot of it also was the wealth mindset that I talk about. And I really wanted to share a story about that where he had a large client that he was expecting to come through on a project when he was really facing a lot of financial trouble, and that project did not come through, and he was devastated, and he's like, I can't believe they canceled, this was, I can't believe that this is over. And just really his language was really challenging, and I said, we just don't know. Can you leave the door open? Right? It's just not perfect right now. And a few years later, recently last year, they came back in, and it was a great project that his company won and had been working on. And so if you just hold that it's just not right now, then that's a great way to look at it so that you don't close the door on it. Another thing to remember, and I use this also with my husband and others, is playing the I wonder game. I learned this from Sonia Chiquette, and it's like, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder who needs that spot. I wonder what the universe has for me. A personal story of my own, years ago when I was working for someone, and I was hired to really research a patent and to see if a patent was pending on an idea that he had a patent pending for. And I knew that if I found the patent, then my job would be over. And I, found a patent that was pending, and I went to him, and my job was over the next day. And, I really held in the I wonder space. I wonder what's going to happen. I think it was the next day my mother called, and they were moving to Las Vegas, and they said, can you meet the truck? Because we can't get there in time. And so I drove out there and was there for the truck and got the furniture in place. My parents came in that evening. I picked them up from the airport. And then the very next day, my mother got just very ill, and she was just sick, vomiting, fever, everything. And I stayed with her the week. My dad had to go back to D.C. or Washington, to Maryland area where we were from, and take care of some things. And so because I didn't have a job, I was able to be with her and take care of her. And then when I was there, I was looking for another, looking online and looking for jobs, and found a job fair in the paper. And long story short, I went to that job fair, got a great job from it. And all of that wouldn't have taken place if I was working for someone else at the time. So you never know. If you say, I wonder what this is going to hold. I wonder, who's going to come. I wonder who needs me right now. It allows the universe to play with you. And play is such a big part of the wealth mindset. And it's important to keep that in mind. And the last thing I'll share is really about going to the wealth exercise. Anytime you're feeling lack or you're seeing something that you don't like, go to that place. Really get into the wealth feeling of what will it feel like when that person who needs that slot more comes in. What will it feel like when you're approaching um, having your waiting list. And all of these apply to whether you have clients or you're in a corporate job or you're believing for something. It's still the same. If something didn't come through, don't look at it as, oh, I didn't get it, it's never going to happen for me. Just hold that, oh, well, just not right now, something else needs to occur. And I wonder game is still, I wonder what else I'm supposed to do instead. Or using the wealth exercise. What would it feel like for me me to get, what is for my highest good? Or what will it feel like when I have enough clients? Or what will it feel like when I have a little extra, I have discretionary income at the end of the month? It's really important to use those opportunities as letting the universe come to you and play with you and to give you what you want versus using language that stops the flow. And in everything, be gentle with yourself, forgive yourself and others, not for necessarily what they did or what you did, but for not knowing what it was about. That's where, I talk about what I learned at University of Santa Monica, which is compassionate self-forgiveness. I forgive myself for judging myself for, not or for not being good enough, or for being a failure, or for failing at, or I forgive myself for judging somebody for not giving me this, or for, you know, I judge the situation, or I judge God. I forgive myself for judging God for failing me, because we just don't know. So if you can do those three things, which are, again, don't look at it as canceling, just not right now, and leave it open. Play the I wonder game. I wonder what's coming to me. I use that a lot with my husband also. His business, his calendar would be empty, and he'd come, it'll be about 30 days out, and he's like, I got nothing on my calendar. And I'd say, okay, what do we do? And he'd say, I wonder who's going to show up. I wonder what the universe has for me. I wonder, what that time is for. And invariably, his calendar would be booked in just a few days, or it would give him time to write, and it would just be literally, we'd have to pack it in because there were more appointments coming in. And then again, using the wealth exercise in the morning, at night, or anytime you're feeling lack or constriction, and just say, the word wealth, and get into the feeling of what would it feel like when the situation is turned around. And if something comes in and you say, I wonder, what would it feel like if I had $1,000, and that's too much and you feel like, oh, inside of you, then back it down. What would it feel like to have an extra $100, and work your way up? Make sense? If you have any other questions, email me and I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks so much.